Move around a little? Do you get pixelated? Woo.
It looks like I'm doing better.
Okay. Are we on or are we not on?
We're totally
Oh, we're on. Okay.
We're on again and again and again and again.
Okay, well.
For the third time this evening.
Let's see if this works. Drew and Jess, After Dark, take 3. All right, well, we're on. Cheers.
Did you bring me a beer?
I did. It's behind your computer because I didn't know where to put it.
Oh, yes.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on. And really quickly, let me add that I went to the bar, balanced 2 glasses of beer and 2 shots.
Shots of tequila.
Because it's a Sunday night.
It is Sunday night. Cheers.
And
we're in Austin. We're
in Round Rock.
We're sitting in the lobby of a hotel right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nobody in here, but we've got these little microphones that we sound good just in case people show up. This is fantastic.
Well, you know, every now and again you get a cart of luggage going by.
It's true.
But hey, Drew, why are we here?
Stand by before we talk about that.
Okay.
This is a beautiful lobby.
It is. It's a beautiful lobby.
This is it. It's I'm trying to figure out what's hanging from the ceiling over there. So this is the Embassy Suites in Round Rock. We're right next door to Bass Pro Shops.
It's a fantastic area.
It's right off of I-35.
There's plenty of food and things to do,
yes,
all within walking distance, which I always appreciate.
It's so pretty. So if you're up in Round Rock, this is the spot, man. This is the spot to stay. And so we're up here.
Yeah. Why are we here?
Oh, like there's a bunch of little kids walking by.
There's a family coming by.
Yeah, and we're drinking.
That's okay.
Suckers.
You know what? We're over 21.
Yeah, dude. We can totally do this. Look at this.
We can drink on a Sunday night. I don't know if anyone's going to feel good tomorrow.
We're in Austin because you've been up here working for the last week, and you're up here on a business trip. And I came up here with the kids yesterday morning. Yeah, yesterday morning.
Yes, I feel like it's been a little bit of a 48-hour whirlwind, but here we are.
But you were close-ish, so it was worth the drive. A little road trip, man.
Yeah.
The road trip action goes a long way.
I desperately wanted to see the kiddos. I'm up here for 14 days for work, and it was a long time without them. It's a long time without you. I'm used to not having you around. I'm not used to not having the kiddos around. So this has been a little different. So we decided that we were going to go after dark because I have to be in class tomorrow morning promptly at 8:30. And
he keeps breaking on me.
Well, just don't think about it.
Well,
we're gonna look a little pixelated for a minute. And what are you gonna do in the morning?
I'm gonna wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm gonna drive home.
I'm gonna wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm gonna do what I do that Drew doesn't like me to talk about, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. I'm going to the gym.
I don't care if you talk about it.
Go 2 episodes back, he totally cared that I talked about it.
Oh no, I don't care. It's because we had a fight the other morning, and we had a fight, and because you walked in all holier than thou because you work out, nobody else works out.
I don't feel like that's exactly how it happened, but sure, you tell the viewers.
Drink more beer.
All about it.
It was fun, man. Anyway,
what did we do yesterday?
We went to Oktoberfest in Fredericksburg, which was
had lots
really
of these guys yesterday.
No, we didn't.
Beer?
Well, I mean, you did. I was like, I got to drive back. It was the first time I've been to Oktoberfest. I'm like, I'll take a water, please. But because Fredericksburg's an hour and 45 minutes away from where we are, and we drove out there anyway.
One of us had to be responsible, and it wasn't going to be me.
Well, it wasn't going to be me. I guess I was the responsible one.
You were the responsible one.
Anyway.
Well, it wasn't Valerie, that's for sure.
I know.
My sister came with us. Very hesitant to come with us, but she made it. We kind of kidnapped her and took her with us. It was good. I'd never been to Oktoberfest in Fredericksburg, and it was definitely a good time.
Of course she does. Yeah, there it goes.
we see the comments. Gabe, thank you very much. Someone's got to hold everybody accountable, okay?
Yeah, whatever, man.
Anyways, there's a lot of commotion happening.
We got invaded.
I feel like this is the hour. It's 10:30 and people are flocking back to their rooms.
Bass Pro Shops is closed.
Is that what it is?
That's great. Oh, so we just had a gaggle of teenage girls set up camp right behind us.
Oh, maybe they're going to be in this shot.
Yeah, why not? Oh, anyway, hey, what a week, man! There's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world right now, and
there is.
It's taken a lot of people by surprise. So, I mean, I don't know how much we want to talk about everything that's going on. It's just we're in the middle of a crazy situation in Israel right now. And
well, I think the important thing to note is if you haven't watched the news, you should watch the news.
Yeah, man.
I hadn't watched the news, and then I was shocked.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting is ACL just ended. Yeah, ACL's crazy, man. Oh, that's what it is. They're all going to come running in here because ACL just finished.
You think?
Yes, yeah. This town's dude. ACL lineup sucked this year. I was not a fan. There were a couple bands I wanted to see, but not enough to justify purchasing a ticket to go. Anyway, yeah, dude, the Israel thing. So the Israel thing's kind of nuts. I love how the first thing that people do is they say, "Oh, it was Joe Biden." Joe Biden paid for the war in Israel. If you trace the money that was released, the funds that were frozen that were released in exchange for hostages to get Americans back on American soil, now they're like, "Oh, no, he started this war. If it wasn't for the American money that was, or the money that was released, it never would have happened." And you know what? Maybe there is a line there, but I don't know, man. I think it's tragic. I think it's crazy what's going on.
I find it hard to believe that
the president did announce that they were going to park a carrier, or not carrier, but an attack group off the coast of Israel. So the U.S. Navy's gearing up to go. But we'll see, man. Yeah, I know. So he's a straight line to it. I know. It's not a straight line, though, man. I looked it up. I was reading all about it. And Hamas is, like, loosely funded by Iran. I mean, Hezbollah is, like, way more funded by Iran. It's like the example that I used online where I said that it's like if Joe Biden, if the president of the United States gave money to the state of California, and then, you know, two gangs, or a gang attacked the Los Angeles PD, but they don't tell you if it's the Crips or the Bloods.
I think it's just important to know that the entire thing is tragic, and it's really awful to think that it's because two parties really can't find a common ground.
Oh my God! But I mean, this is a conversation.
I know.
This is like,
I know, but we had this discussion in the car, and it really is because we're different.
It's because people are different.
We have different religious beliefs, and
it's religion, man. It all comes down to religion, which is nuts to think about. Speaking of religion, you know what's been interesting in our world, the Catholic Church. This was the big Synod week where they do everything. And the Pope's catching a lot of grief because he's saying everyone should be able to join the church when talking about LGBTQ, and that's pretty fascinating. It's rocking the world of Catholicism. I mean, I don't know if anything's going to happen because of it. They're also talking about women becoming priests, and they're talking about how if priests should be allowed to marry. And so there's all these things that are happening that the Pope is bringing to light. I think it's exciting that
there is obviously diversity being brought to light. I think it's exciting to think that we can entertain some changes happening. And I think it's also exciting to note that we can all move past our differences and just learn to love and be together.
Dude, I mean, what's it going to take? What's it going to take for the Catholic? And so what they're saying is that the Catholic Church would allow same-sex unions to be blessed by the church.
Well, that's fantastic.
They're not going to produce them. You can't have a gay wedding in a Catholic church, but they will bless it so that it's
a union.
Yeah, so it's a union.
Well, that it's recognized, and I think that's fantastic. That's a start.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so there's that's going on. There's the Israeli stuff that's going on. Man, I mean, and then Texas news. Oh my God.
I only know what's going on.
So you haven't seen
No, I haven't seen anything.
There's a lot of people saying that there's a Buc-ee's that's going to come to the Rio Grande Valley.
No way.
Oh my God, and they're posting pictures. Edinburgh. There's one person saying Edinburgh, another person saying Olmito, another person saying Brownsville. So there's all these little fake images put up of a Buc-ee's down there.
I don't know if it's going to happen. You think?
Well, I mean, the one thing to make sure is to cross your legs when you're going to the bathroom. The founder of Buc-ee's, his son, was just arrested and charged for hiding cameras.
Why does everybody have to be so gross?
In his dad's lake house right down the road down there at Lake Travis.
So you know what's interesting to me?
Well, check it out. Hold on. So what would happen was these people came over to the house. They were having like a pool party or something.
Oh, so it was in his home.
And they rolled into the home, and one of the guys that was there was a cybersecurity expert. And he looked at the outlet where you plug stuff in. And he's like, "Hey, that thing's a hidden camera." And so they pulled the hidden camera off the wall. They grabbed it. They took it with them, and they split. They immediately left. And when they got home, the cybersecurity expert found the memory card in there and popped on the memory card, and it was recordings of him and his girlfriend and everyone that was there with him. And then it went back. It went back and back and back. There are all these archives of hidden, whoever stayed in that room. All that shit was recorded on a hidden camera. What was that movie?
That, but
Sliver. Was that what it was called?
Okay, so you plant all these cameras, But then who really has the time and energy to go through that footage? Because a lot of it's going to be like nothing good to see.
Nah, man. I mean, there's camera analytics that only record when there's actual motion happening. I mean,
sounds like you've thought about this.
You know, who's to say I don't have hidden cameras all over our house?
Because they're out in the open. I can see all the cameras.
All the cameras out in the open. Anyway,
yeah, let's changing tones real quick.
Well, I don't even know if this thing is working, to be honest. Okay, can you turn on your phone and see if it's working?
Look, we got poop emojis, so something's working.
I feel like the audio.
Who is that?
That's Rob, man.
Rob who?
Rob.
Oh, Rob, I have a bone to pick with you. I already told Drew that I was unfriending all your nonsense. It's so much. I was like, I can't see this anymore. Love you, Rob. When are you coming back to Texas?
He is. He's coming back to Texas. I'm very excited.
It is on there. Look.
Yeah, but is the audio synced up?
Well, that I can't tell you.
Give me this, tap on it and see what it sounds like. Is the audio synced up? It is.
There, it's working.
Whoa, it actually sounds good. I know, Rob.
Dude,
it's.
What,
oh
do
man,
what?
I can't wait. 72 days.
Oh, yay! We'll see you in 72 days, but it doesn't mean I want to see your Instagram anymore. No more. I'm done. And on that, man. I'm going to take the shot.
Oh yeah, let's do a shot. And then I'll tell you what happened last week.
What happened last week? Do I want to know?
No. So you haven't been home.
No.
You haven't.
So not being home has been kind of nice.
Cheers.
But kind of not nice. This is a really big shot. I'm not even gonna have it. Woo! Cheers.
Tequila.
After dark.
Orale. Jesus. Also negro, or what are we doing here?
Casamigos.
Not bad.
You know, Casamigos will always make me think of Carlos.
It will. I love how you're just mentioning everybody's names on this one.
Hey, it's after dark.
Whatever.
I can't hold back.
See?
There's no holding back.
He says Lachaim.
I don't know what that is.
Lachaim. That's a joke because he's Jewish.
I knew that.
Yeah. He's my Jewish redneck friend.
I know. I've been there. I've seen. I know.
Yeah. It's so great.
Yeah.
Wow, so there's all these screens playing all around us. There's like sports ball happening. Oh, look at this.
Sports ball. There's sports ball everywhere.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Can we just talk about the handsome guys on the San Francisco 49ers team?
They're beating the crap out of the Cowboys.
They are.
Is that the final score?
Men.
42-10. That's a shellacking, as we say in Texas.
I don't know what you're looking at.
Right over there. San Francisco 42, Dallas 10.
Ouch.
They beat the bejesus out of them.
Okay, but we're not announcers over here.
Oh, and the Twins beat the Astros, dude.
You know what I did do?
What'd you
Back
do?
to my working out. Back to my working out. Why don't you tell everybody here what I was doing all afternoon for an entire hour? Non-stop.
This genius decides this.
So I was like,
she's like, come on, we're going to go to Lake Travis. Or
lovely weather.
What's it called?
The weather's been amazing.
We're going to go to Town Lake and we're going to
get on one of those swan pedal things, right?
So we get a swan pedal thing for $4.
Yeah.
But it only has 2 sets of pedals.
And here I was thinking that I'd get some help with the pedaling.
I don't understand what part. So we go hiking in Wyoming and we get like 20 feet into the hike and my knee goes out and I have to go to the store and buy a brace because it sucks. And I was like, damn it. And so here I am being, Debbie Downer over there.
So we all went to the top of the mountain, but then you got to see the bears when you were at the bottom of the mountain.
I did see the bears. So then we go skiing and we get 20 minutes into my ski lesson.
The rest of us are just fine.
And there goes my knee.
The rest of us are
knee,
just
the
fine.
one that she's leaning on right now.
Yeah,
same knee.
It needs pressure.
And so today she's like, let's go get on a paddle boat. They go cruise around the lake. I'm like, this sounds like a terrible idea. And she's like, no, the weather's great now.
The weather was fantastic. Everybody should paddle.
This is great. Of course,
it's very loud.
There's a janitor cart coming by. That's what's going on.
It's okay. The place is clean.
I know, man. What do you think it is? Do you think it's a janitorial cart?
I know. I think it's a luggage cart.
No, it's a trash can.
It's a trash can.
We were both wrong.
Picking up your mess is what they're doing.
I'm not even making a mess. Anyway, so she's like, let's go
paddleboarding. The kids wanted to be outside.
You want to go paddleboarding? That's right. First.
I wanted to go paddleboarding. That didn't happen. So we got on the swans, and for an entire hour.
You paddled.
I
sat in the back like a man of leisure.
I pedaled. And Nola took turns and Fleet took turns. Drew?
It was beautiful. The weather was great. It was so nice.
We saw someone get in trouble.
Oh my God, yeah.
This was interesting. So
there
was a couple on 2 paddle boats.
Paddle boards.
Boards. There's 2 people on paddle boards. And they
both had golden retrievers.
They had 2 golden retrievers with them. the guy, for whatever reason, kept pushing the golden retriever into the water, and the dog kept trying to, get back on, and he would push him off, and he'd try to get back on. The whole thing seemed really cruel, and I thought, well, maybe he's playing with them, but then it turned really bad.
Well, because one of the dogs wasn't swimming; it was like freaking out.
Yeah,
so he would get the dog and put it back on the paddleboard,
and then he
would shove it off,
and then he would throw it off. Anyway, it was awful to watch. And then all of a sudden he takes his paddle and he hits the dog with it.
Whacks the dog
and
with
before any of us can say anything, because I'm like stunned watching everything happen.
Jess goes, "Hey, he just hit the dog with his paddle."
I'm getting all up in arms about it. But before I can say anything, there's a gentleman off to the side that starts yelling, and then they just went at each other.
This guy on the shore screams at the guy in the middle of the lake. He goes, "You got to be effing kidding me!"
Yeah.
He goes, "Don't you?" He goes, "Why are you
can't be hitting your dog."
And so the guy starts screaming at him from the middle of the lake. He's like, "Why don't you come out here and do something about it?" It's like
there were F-bombs going back and forth all in the middle of the lake.
Someone probably recorded that.
We should have recorded it.
Yeah, we should have recorded it.
But we did not.
I was very
He was telling me to pedal faster so we could get out of there.
Yeah, I was like, "Hurry up. Kick this thing in the high gear. We got places to be."
Horrible. Anyway, which led to my whole, I really want a pet. We need a dog. We lost Harold.
What?
We lost Harold a while back.
Yeah, but...
Now I want a dog.
I was like, how'd you get there from there?
Well, because we have to rescue a dog.
There's 2 golden retrievers. Anyway.
I don't know those guys.
I don't know those guys either.
Anyway, what are we going to talk about? We still got another while to go. Drink more.
You keep going on your tangents.
Okay, well, you start on something.
This is where I'm just going to let you talk, because... Everyone, you always give me shit, and then people are like, "You need to let Jessica talk." And when I let you talk, it goes in 14 different directions.
Everyone's asleep. No one wants to hear us talk anymore.
No, people are already going to turn. They're going to be like, "This is too much."
Yeah, it is. I agree. It's a little too much. But Drew, in the morning, it's not going to happen tomorrow morning.
It could, but you had to be a part of it. So
when were you going to do it? This is the abuse that I deal with. You are so rude. I had to be a part of it.
I was fine doing it.
We should look at your ratings when I'm not on it.
Oh, yeah.
The trash can's coming back.
Here comes the trash can.
Sounds like a thunderstorm. Let's pretend it's a thunderstorm and we have to get cozy.
Anyway, so let me tell you what happened last week.
Okay, what happened?
This really
I wasn't there last week.
Yeah, this was interesting. I have a standing lunch on Fridays with a group of guys that we all get together.
Yeah, are you sure you want to talk about this?
Yeah.
You sure?
Why don't I want to talk about it?
I don't know. I'm just building it up more. I have no idea. Tell me more.
I'm like, are you going to take it in a different direction? Anyway, this is why I was like, stop interrupting me, and then you got mad at me.
It's late.
All right, you want me to start this over again? Remember,
again, one more time.
The key here when you do these things is you have to make sure that you can have little segments of information that people can listen to. And when you do that...
You can't talk to me. Listen, you went to your guys' lunch. There are some guys at this lunch. Go on.
Jeez, it's good. This is the real. This is really what it's like living with you.
Jessica tired. Okay, but go on. You were at this guy's lunch.
I have to start over again, or else it doesn't make
you're
going to
give another intro? Okay.
So, are you ready? Are you good with this?
I'm ready.
We have a standing guys lunch on Fridays.
Yeah.
It's called the Swingin' Meat Lunch Posse.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, for real though. We do have a regular but we have a lunch on Friday where a bunch of us just get together. It's like whoever can make it makes it, whoever doesn't, no big deal. But it is a cast of characters, to say the least.
Yeah, cast of characters.
There are people with all kinds of different opinions, and it brings about some very good conversation, and not conversations that are easy to have, especially when you have people with completely opposing viewpoints. And we launched a conversation talking about how kids classify themselves or label themselves, and in every different label, no matter what it is. And in a lot of cases now, what we're seeing in 5th and 6th grade, and we've talked about this on the show before, is kids that I don't know the correct way to say this. I'm not trying to be offensive, but kids that think that they're gay,
right?
That may not know that they are.
I think they're just hearing new vocabulary and going with it.
Part of it is saying, hey, this is what I think I am, but I'm not sure I'm this. But this is what I'm going to say I am because my friends say that I'm this, or my friends label me like this, and so there's all these labels that the kids are putting on themselves, and so we were talking about that. And it was interesting, man. It was a really good conversation. But what was great about it was like was a no holds barred kind of conversation where people were just genuinely asking questions.
Okay.
And it maybe they weren't using the correct terms that they should, or being as non-aggressive as they should. But the thing about it is, when you get in a friend group and you start having real conversations, you have to give a little bit of leniency to that. You have to be able to say, you know what, I understand who you are, and I understand that you're not using the correct term for this, but I also understand that you're trying to get your point across.
Well, that you're in a safe spot.
Yeah, I'm going to stop talking about it for a second while the luggage cart goes by.
Well, I'll talk about it. You're in a safe spot. You're amongst friends. We've all been in that situation where we let our guard down.
Yeah, and I think, and it's okay. It's not a bad thing. And you know, there's around the table, there's people who have personal experience with it. There's people who have zero experience with it. There's people who are progressive thinkers. There's people who are non-progressive thinkers, who are more conservative thinkers. And it was a good chat. And unfortunately, what happened out of it was kind of a bummer, man. The person who was serving us, I don't want to say it was kind of a bummer. It was a bummer I think for everybody involved. The person who was serving us got offended with what we were talking about. Uh-huh. And it was interesting to see that because I can understand how they were offended, uh-huh. because the subject matter was kind of right on the fence line, and also some of the things that were being said weren't in the kindest light. But it was in the conversation was meant for the circle of people, and if you popped your ear in, you were going to hear something that you probably didn't want to hear. But what it made me think of is how those conversations, I think, really need to be had, and anyone who overhears someone talking about that, especially if you have two opposing viewpoints, I would just say give them some space, because they may be having a very difficult conversation that may be making progress in one way or another, and it's not that they're being offensive, it's that they're trying to talk it out. Right. And the problem is that if you get offended with everything that someone says, then you lose that capability to actually talk something out. And when you lose the ability to have a conversation, that's when things get all weird.
Right.
And at least, even if it was uncomfortable, at least we were having a chat where people were going, you know what, I had not thought of it in that particular light. And I think that's the thing about our lunches, is that we get a lot of shit. I mean, because there's like people from all walks of life are part of these lunches. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, I think people really need to remember that you can have a conversation with someone who has an opposing viewpoint, and neither of you are right or neither of you are wrong, but at least try and put yourself in someone else's shoes for a minute.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you thought that it was a good lunch, though, that the conversation was genuinely well received, and amongst the people that were sitting there, you guys were able to at least share and highlight on something that perhaps they didn't know anything about. And
we even talked about what we should do is do a segment of the show where we bring someone on who has, bring a super conservative person who has 10 questions, a super liberal person who has 10 questions, and then bring in random people and be like, hey, we're going to ask you these 10 questions, and based on, what your thoughts are. Yeah. Because the conservative friends of mine, they always say the same thing. They always say, I think people are a lot more conservative than they realize. And the liberal friends, you never hear that on the liberal side. Like, I think you may be way more liberal than you think you are. I don't ever hear that, but I hear the conservative friends saying that. And I think that may be the case. I mean, look at the polling numbers, look at voting numbers.
Right.
When it comes down to it, and it's just you in a booth, and it's just you and your, like we talked about before, your tax check.
You just
it's like, man,
you default to what you know.
Yeah.
I think you
closet conservative.
You default to you default to the things that really have been embedded in your head. How you were raised, what you saw around you. Yeah. It's one thing to say, okay, I lived in a very traditional home and I've got all of these values that my family really try to push, and here I am, I've grown up, I have my own opinions, and now I'm going to completely change exactly what I grew up knowing. Mm-hmm. There's still hesitation. I think when you close all the doors and you really get down to it, you have no choice but like what you were raised as kind of, it rears its head, and finding the balance.
You fall back to that, right?
Right. You do. I mean, I hear my mom's voice in my head all the time.
I hear my dad's voice, but it's usually cracking jokes.
Yeah, the dad jokes come from Dad.
What do you call the spider with 20 eyes? The spider.
Oh my gosh! Anyway. Not all the tequila in the world can make that joke funny, babe.
Well, We're in beautiful Central Texas, so there's something to be. I fucking hate Austin. You know that?
Oh my! Here we go again. We're
not
in Austin.
This is the thing.
I'm
so not a fan of Austin. And
what's not to be a fan about?
Here comes conservative Drew,
Oh.
right? I am not a fan of Austin. I haven't been for a long time. I think it's just fallen so far off the deep end. And this was part of the conversation we were having. Actually, post our lunch conversation. We started this whole side chat about it, and because we were talking about Trump trains, about how if you're wearing a MAGA hat and you're flying a Trump flag with a whole bunch of other people, how that is outwardly offensive to people. That is a threat.
I look at it as a threat.
It's a threatening.
It's offensive.
thing.
I feel like I'm not wanted there.
You feel like you're not wanted there, and so the conversation, from the other side was, well, what if they're flying, rainbow flags? I feel threatened. I was like, how do you feel threatened by a rainbow flag? First of all, anyway, but that's just me.
No, but the overall message there is to love everybody.
It is, except the threat, and I never thought about this. The threat is a threat to their traditional way of thinking. So if you're someone who holds these old core traditional quote unquote conservative values, and you see someone who is a transsexual or dressed in drag and they're serving you, you perceive that as a threat on you. You perceive that as a threat on the way that you grew up, and that was the enlightening part of the conversation that I hadn't thought about. I never thought about someone who is expressing themselves and trying to be right with their sexuality as threatening to someone. But what it comes across is even in my group of friends. Some of the people that I'm friends with are like, that's offensive to me, and I feel threatened. I was like, yeah, but there's a difference.
Threatened, or they feel suppressed in some way?
They feel like their moral compass is being threatened by the groups of people who are so outwardly exposing who they are.
That is an interesting viewpoint, because I've never thought of it like that.
I've never thought about it like that either, but that came from the swinging meat lunch posse values, to the values. Okay, so that's the thing. It's like, but
we all have our own values to keep ourselves. Yes. Why am I so concerned about you?
Yeah,
there's room for everybody.
I'm just saying, I had never seen that. I had never heard of that perspective where it's like, well, the pride flag is threatening, and I was like, yeah, but I mean, the MAGA flag's basically the Confederate flag of the. So
that's exactly what I was just going to say, was that. One is an inclusive
flag.
Right, it's an inclusive.
The other one is an exclusive flag.
And
that's how I feel.
And the other one has really, honestly, from my opinion and from what I interpret, has always been you're brown. This is not about you. This is not for you. It's not. It's just not for you.
Yeah, and get out of our way.
Right.
The Trump train's coming through. Yeah,
and kind of, I'm going to bulldoze through everybody to make my point.
Yeah, and so we got on the conversation about if someone's wearing a MAGA hat, and I said that is absolutely an icon of hate. The MAGA hat is something that you put on knowingly that you are going to use it. That has been weaponized as a tool of hate, where people don't put on the MAGA hat and go like, I'm going to go make everybody happy today. They put it on going, I'm going to go show these guys what I feel.
Right.
And the same with the Trump train, because I still can't believe that people do Trump trains in McAllen
when it's like 98% brown.
Dude, I just don't know. Like, I don't get it.
I don't feel like it makes any sense. Anyway. But what do I know?
Well, whatever. He'll be in jail soon anyway. Thank God. I hate to wish anybody.
We're not looking at the comments over there.
No, it's what you perceive it that way. That's not.
You know what? You're right.
Well, hold on. No. Anyone will tell you. There's a cable in my hand now. You perceive it that way. That's not true. Perception is reality. The perception is absolutely reality. So the way that people perceive it that's what makes
that is
reality.
My reality,
yeah.
right?
So
the way that I'm interpreting that is my reality, and it is for me to do what I want with that reality, to move forward with my opinions and thoughts on them, and to everybody each their own. Absolutely, I don't get involved. It's not like I'm sitting here talking to anybody around me about what's right and what's wrong and what they should or shouldn't be doing.
At the end of the day, I mean, I support everyone's opportunity to do what they need to do. You want to vote for that? Like that's your opinion. That's what you want to believe in, and that's what you feel are your that's where your moral compass is pointed, and that's what your values are. Well, then by all means, go ahead.
No,
I'm not going to tell someone that they can't vote for what they believe in. My problem with with the Republican Party in this day and age is that they it's not that they're not being it's not the values of it as much as it's they're trying to take something away from other people, or they're trying to make it seem like you can't succeed unless you take something from someone. And to me, what it all comes down, the most important issue that it comes down to right now is women's rights. And I don't think that women should have the rights to do something with their body taken away from them.
Right.
I don't feel like anyone other than that person should be
Speaking
able
of,
to make a decision about
what
it.
state was it that doesn't have OBGYNs anymore?
No, it's not that. It's that there's certain counties. We talked about this last week. I talked about last week. There's certain counties where in Idaho where they have shut down maternity wards because it's too difficult of a political situation to administer life-saving procedures on women because they're either abortive by nature or because they have to use the drugs or the procedures, and so they're like, we're not even.
We're just not going to mess with it
and
because
in Texas, Cochran County up in the Panhandle has passed a law where oh Jesus, dude, hold on, a pro-Palestine rally at the Texas Capitol today. Sorry, the news is on right in front of us. Hey man, again, that's the thing.
That was in the middle of the ACL shuttles going back and forth.
They have a, I mean, like that's not a about popular opinion, but that's the beauty of living in America, right? Is that they can rally, like they can sit there and do that. But yet in the same country, in the same state, you can't go get a life-saving procedure. Right. You have an ectopic pregnancy, you could die.
It's scary. All of it is scary.
Yeah. And
it's
then
really
Cochran
scary.
County.
And the part that's interesting the most to me is why does anybody care?
Because they think it's murder. They think that when you have an abortion, you're murdering a child, and they're trying to stop you from murdering somebody.
So I have an ectopic pregnancy, and I have to have this procedure done. I can't get it done.
And you die.
And everybody cares.
Yeah, because you would be killing the kid because it's the same.
As opposed to a mom dying that already has 5 kids at home.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you get there.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's like that's my problem with the conservative agendas going into all this stuff is it's like I mean, there's a lot of conservative stuff, fiscal responsibility, financials and tax. Well, not the tax. I don't believe in all the loopholes and stuff, but to me, the core thing is like, why would you want to tell a woman what they can and can't do with their body? That's what it all comes down to me. That's the
should be there for abortion.
First thing. Well,
anyway. Am I understanding that last one right?
Yeah, I agree. This is, and so Rob, are you like a libertarian? I need someone who's a libertarian.
Wait, that it should be there or shouldn't be there?
I don't like abortion, but I agree.
Okay, there. Yeah, okay, right.
It's like,
I mean, nobody likes it. It's not something like, oh, let me go out and get this done. It's going to be so much fun. Nobody has that thought. Nobody wants to make that decision. It's something that you just have to do at some point.
Anyway, well, I can't open my show notes because my browser's all messed up. So
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm trying to think of what else.
I don't have anything else. I was going to talk about how I really wanted to see the Foo Fighters, but you just dogged on all of ACLs, like. But I wanted to see the Foo Fighters, and so I wanted to take the kids, and that was the other thing, right? Going back and forth and realizing maybe not the best environment for the children.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it used to be like you would go to a concert. And be like, oh, there's a group of people over there smoking weed. And now, I mean, even we've taken the kids to concerts. It's like everyone's just high as shit. And it's like, I don't want my kid to get contact high, man. I'd rather go to a nice, intimate setting where it's the band and you and let them. But I did think
I thought it would be a little fun. But again, me reminiscent of
Jesus Christ, though, the outfits, like just sitting in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just wanted to sit back and watch.
To see what people were wearing, walking down the street, going to ACO, was like, man, that's like that one dude who was wearing the mesh thing.
Oh yeah, I had to apply to him a whole mesh thong situation, and Drew's first words were the chafing, and I was like,
"What?" He's gonna get that itchy owie right in his like that chafed taint. No one wants a chafed taint.
Can you imagine all day long in the sun?
Shit, no, high heels and fishnets and pass, dude. I get it. You're trying to make a statement, but
they've been out to Green Hall. We've done lots of green. We tried to make it out to Wimberley at least once a year. Yeah. And so do all the stuff out there, and it is all very nice. I will say that our other friend got to see Wade Bowen
Oh,
That show
yeah,
looked
man.
really fun.
It's funny. He was posting pictures right when I was listening to the song "Mi Amigo" by Wade Bowen and Randy Rogers.
Yeah, the concert looked really good.
Anyway, hey, something else. Next weekend, on the 14th, before the next episode of Drew in the Morning, there's going to be a big solar eclipse on Saturday that's going to be slicing like a mochate sign right through the center of Texas, man. So from Corpus Christi, diagonally up San Antonio, Bernie area, all the way up into the Cochran County where you can't drive through if you're trying to have an abortion. That whole area right there is going to be a slice, man. And the solar eclipse, they're calling it the Ring of Fire because
I know, but we can't make it.
I know, but we should because it's gonna be awesome.
I know, but I gotta be back by Sunday.
Back where?
In McAllen.
Yeah, but it's Saturday. We'll take a drive up to Choke Canyon or something. Goose
I
Island.
like how you say just take a drive.
Take a little cruise, man.
So it's no big deal. It's just a quick 5 hours. It takes a minute.
And then,
but no, going back to the country music, their first show Fleet's first show was Parker McCullum.
oh yeah,
And he did
man.
like it. It was good.
That was a good show. Too.
He's fantastic to watch.
That was a good show.
Was.
He buys his boats at somewhere.
Where?
He had like this whole commercial for him where he bought his boat. I don't know, that place in New Braunfels. New Braunfels that only has, what's the song? Oh, where's Alexi when you need her? There's
I don't know
only
what you're
one
talking
F
about.
in New Braunfels. There's only one S in New Braunfels. Yes,
I don't know.
There's only one S in New Braunfels. It's
Only
a song.
one S.
Yeah, because people call it New Braunfels all the time. It's like, dude, just read it. There's no S in there. New Braunfels.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
What's your favorite thing about driving around? Like the drive up here, what stood out?
God, I love driving in Texas. I love it. And I showed you guys a movie a couple weeks ago. One of my favorite all-time movies that I watched as a kid. And I just loved it, man. And I hadn't thought about it. I think it's really what made me fall in love with West Texas. The movie Fandango with Kevin Costner and Judd Nelson.
Anything Kevin Costner is gonna
Oh my God,
do it for me.
What a
handsome man.
I love that. And one of my other favorite movies to watch people drive around Texas, 11 to 45. 11 to 45 is a great Texas movie. But A Perfect World, Kevin Costner again, where he plays he's a bank robber.
I don't remember.
I haven't seen it forever.
I don't remember the movie.
But I love driving around the state and seeing coming over a little horizon, coming over a little hill, and seeing the road just stretch all the way to the horizon. And in West Texas, it's my favorite, where you just see the mountains in the back, and the sky is just so wide open, and there's just nothing.
I will say the drive from Austin to Fredericksburg is super nice, also.
It's okay.
I like it because you get all the whimsical parts of it, but it's quick.
It's not my favorite.
Well, you like driving the 9 hours out to West Texas. It's a little different.
Dude, as soon as you hit that Pecos River, give me a break. That's
Hey, I have another topic. I want to know how many people out there have actually been to Franklin's Barbecue.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it Franklin's Barbecue or Franklin Barbecue? Are you putting an S on it, like from the valley? Like, let's go.
I thought it had an S on it, Franklin's.
Like Barnes and Nobles?
No, I thought it was Franklin's. Maybe it's Franklin.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
Are you just trying to be rude?
No, I don't know if it's...
You trying to pick a fight with me at 11 o'clock at night?
No, we should drink more tequila.
You should drink yours. I drank mine.
I don't know if it's Franklin or Franklin's.
Either way, I want to know if anybody's been, because here's the thing. We went today, and the line was so long. And y'all, it's been years. It's been years since the line is long. And we couldn't wait.
No, we don't want to wait.
We couldn't wait.
I've never been though.
But I don't think I've ever had it. I've had that ramen
speaking of, man,
situation
really
that
cool?
had the barbecue for a minute.
My friend Gabe, who travels all over the state, he's a landman. You know what he does?
He eats well.
He does. And he is like such a good source for food.
You should ask him if he's been there.
So he started noticing a trend.
Also, did you mention his name?
Yeah, it's Gabe, but I didn't say his last name. He started noticing a trend about a year ago.
What's the trend?
And Texas Monthly just picked up on it and said that it's something that's really neat to see. It has a lot to do with the valley. When you talk about, I remember when the Dominguez brothers opened up Smoking Oak and Mercedes, I walked in there and I asked them, I was like, "Where are the tortillas, bro?" And they're like, "No, we don't do that, man. We're like Texas style barbecue." And I was like,
bread.
What's more Texas than tortillas? Like, give me a break.
Right.
And so there's a trend going around where there's this combination of like Mexican heritage and Tex-Mex influence and barbecue. So you're seeing some of these barbecue joints that are offering tortillas and
you
like
wanna know-
charro beans
you wanna
and like
know
all
what-
these different things. It's like
Immediately, you want to know what that did?
What?
It made me mad.
Oh,
And that entire thought made me mad.
why?
Because a Mexican barbecue is not Texas barbecue.
You know
And
what?
you can't.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll fight you on
Well,
this one.
and
You
Texas
can't
barbecue
blend that.
is Czech barbecue,
You can't. Well, okay. So what are we doing with the tortillas and the beans? You can't put that together. It's different.
I think about. I always.
I'm
think
having an
about,
issue here.
I think about sitting in someone's driveway.
But those are
And their drunk uncles cooking.
Yeah, but those are those really thin
what do they
fajitas.
call them? Costilla, or how do you say
No,
rib?
costillas, yeah.
Costillas, yeah, man. Those
Or the really, really
where they
thin.
take the ribs and it's like a slice of a rib.
The really, really thin
it's all tough
fajitas,
as
and you put all the lime on it, and you
Yeah,
put it in a
dude.
tortilla with
And they're hard,
all the
and it
pico.
tastes like
Yes,
you're eating
that
tire rubber.
is a Mexican barbecue. What?
You know fajitas are from the valley, right?
Okay, whatever. Listen,
It's not a whatever.
you can't
That's like
put
a-
barbecue sauce, and then it's just different.
Is sauce a Texas thing? 'Cause
It's
you got
not a
Kansas
Mexican
City.
thing.
Well, no.
You
you
can have
put-
salsa, but you can't have barbecue sauce. It's making me upset. It's making me think of queso.
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 Where is it?
Blah.
You know what I've always wondered? Where is the queso line? Where's the line in the state of Texas? Like you're driving north, right? And
Oh,
let's
you
go
can't
from the
find it.
valley.
You can't find
so
it
I'm
south
in
of San
McAllen,
Antonio.
and it's queso. And then I get to Three Rivers,
Okay.
right? And then George West, right? It's not there. It's not in Alice. It's not in Fowl. Where is the line where it turns into queso? Is it north of San Antonio? Can you order queso in San Antonio?
Yeah, you can.
So it's south. So like Pleasanton. Where is this is a Texas
You mean like
question.
queso or
Where
but
does
the thing
it
is,
turn into queso? Like where it's
because,
like, oh, I'll take a
but
side
you
of
can't
queso.
get the queso in South Texas.
You can't.
No, there's
Well, okay. And then the other question is like, where is the botana line? Because
that's a whole
once you
thing.
get
I
to
don't
a
know.
certain like you can't order botanas anymore.
I think
There's
that's
pareadas.
I think that's Valley. I think that's Rio Grande Valley only.
I don't know.
Once you get to San Antonio, it's like
I mean, these are real Texas
it's
questions.
like, it's like
Where does
I
the
don't
queso
know,
line
ponchos
start?
or some shit.
I don't know, man. Where is the bistec line?
I don't know, but I'm getting hungry.
Beef. I know we're talking about food.
Oh, I love tripas.
No, tripas.
Barbacoa.
No way.
Don't mess around.
Mhm.
No, I'm so hungry.
Shit, they had barbecue in
I
this
know,
place
but we've
already?
eaten terribly this entire weekend.
No, we had home
We had
slice.
burgers, we had pizza,
What was the place we went to? What was it called? Sour Duck?
the
Was not a
sour
fan.
the sour duck. You hated it.
That place sucked, man. That's like the most Austin lame restaurant. Dude, you sit down, there's no menu. They're like, scan the QR code, bro. It's good for the environment. So you scan the QR code, and then you order stuff. And okay, so part of me was like, this is really cool. Like you order stuff on the app, you send in the order, you keep your tab open, and then they bring it out. But you can't tell who works there. You can't tell who
Yeah.
doesn't work there. Everyone
And
looks
you
like
can't
slobs.
you can't ask anybody
Dude,
for
everyone looks
silverware
like they just rolled out of bed
or
and-
napkins.
and,
Just
like,
point like that way.
Do people just not iron their clothes anymore? Like, there's no presentation. Anyway, so then they just roll up with the food, and
They just
no
kinda
kidding,
drop it off.
This guy who
you
works
go.
there, I guess your sister had ordered a glass of wine. Remember this?
Oh yeah,
And
I
this dude just comes walking up to the table with a glass of wine and looks at Jessica's sister and he's like, "Here you go," and she's like, "Thanks." And then he walks off like, oh, I guess he works here because he took the order for the wine. But it's like, you can't tell who works there, who doesn't. There's zero customer service. And like, anytime you talk to them, it's like you're offending them by asking them a question. I asked the lady, I was like, hey, where do you get a knife? And she's like, over there. And I was like, oh, sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. And then they're like, don't forget to tip. You're like, fuck y'all.
Well,
Give you the
so let me
Bend over, sweetie.
let me go. Let me start over. I am at a 2-week class, and I'm staying in Round Rock.
You should
They
do the whole.
originally sold
This is
it
me
to us.
one day going to school in Austin. This is me 3 days after going. This is me 4 days after being in school in
But
Austin.
this is not Austin.
Oh, but babe, shave your armpits, please.
I lasered them years ago.
I'm just saying. 'cause
They're not, the hair's not going to come
you
back.
spend too much time up here, you're gonna get home and you're gonna be like,
OMG. So I'm
body
on
hair,
week 2.
No customer service.
But again, I'm in Round Rock. It's a little different. This is
Keep
like the
Austin
suburbs.
weird.
I like it here. It's nice.
This is okay. This place is nice. It's like a respite from.
A respite from the big city.
Can't do it, man. Can't do Austin.
Oh,
It's too weird.
True, so dramatic.
I don't like.
You don't like weird?
I don't like Austin. No,
You're a little weird.
No, the problem is that in Austin, everybody tries so hard that they're all exactly the same.
I feel like people try really hard everywhere
so
you go.
hard.
Everybody
And you
tries
get
really
off the
hard.
plane.
Maybe we should all try harder.
Anytime you walk out of the jetway on the plane, as soon as you get into the lobby at the airport, you're like, yep.
I've met some fun people over the past 2 weeks.
It's true, but everyone's like, don't you get tired?
They're not all from here, though, I will say. And it's important to note as well that the average person, the average age of my class.
We called you mom.
It's 23. Average age.
You brought him snacks.
I've got my good friend Randy to my right. He's a little older gentleman, and then I got my might as well be my son to my left. He's 21, and it's been a lot of fun. Yep.
I don't know. What else is going on? Halloweenies coming up.
Wearing patchouli oil. Can you imagine?
Oh God, dude, if you smell like patchouli. Oh. It was ACL this weekend.
And
so
suddenly
great.
I have hairy armpits. No, everyone at ACL was so cute. My family actually all got together at ACL on Friday, and I was really jealous I wasn't there.
I love seeing your 6-year-old uncle talk about Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, it was the best. And how Lil Yachty put on the worst performance ever. I was like, man, he knows. He's in the know.
He was down on Yachty, man.
He was. He's like, that was the worst performance. I was like, wow, he knows what's up. But it was a family affair. Everybody was there. Minus us, so I did want to take the kiddos. We'll have to wait for them to go.
$7 zillion.
It wasn't that bad. What's worse? Isn't Coachella way more expensive?
Again, another reason. I'm an old crotchety man now.
You're so old today.
Oh, hold on.
Is it because your knees hurting? It's because your knees hurting. I'm putting pressure.
I'm like gout.
Oh my goodness.
I did.
Honey,
hey, we got tickets for Electric Daisy Carnival. We're going to EDC in Vegas.
Wait. You're right. We are going, but
yeah.
Would you be real sad if I stayed in Austin a little longer?
Why?
I'm going to extend my trip.
For what?
I don't know. Just to make you upset.
You're going to find yourself? You're
I've
going to find your true self?
My true inner being. No. Yes, we are going to EDC.
Oh, hey, by the way.
What?
Before you talk about EDC.
What?
Hey, so you were right, man.
I'm always right.
I listened to a podcast where someone immediately started dropping F-bombs in the middle of their podcast.
And what happened, Drew?
It made them sound not...
very smart.
Yeah, they couldn't get their point across without dropping an F-bomb. And it was...
Did you self-reflect?
I did. And I said, this is about... So you weren't on the show with me. I talked about this last week.
No, and I didn't watch
Clearly
it either.
You didn't listen.
I've been very busy.
Yeah, whatever.
I've got a life too.
I love how one of the arguments for me to bring the kids up here was so that they could see that you have business trips also.
I think that that's a valid argument.
That was cute.
You thought it was cute.
It was cute.
Oh, cute. Is this you?
It's good. I love that our kids see you working.
Whatever. Great. It didn't feel like that on Friday.
Yeah. So I get sleepy when I drive. I get road hypnosis real bad.
It's because you're very old.
And my eyes start to go like this. When I
He's very old.
And if I don't pull over and take a little nappy poo, it's bad news. And so it happens. And this one's like, hey, it's 6 o'clock at night. Why don't you drive up to Austin?
That is painting a very not true picture.
It was 4:30.
No, the plan was for you to leave as soon as school let out, and you did. You got on the road. You picked up Nola, and you guys started to drive, and then you changed your mind.
Yeah, I was like, it's not going to happen. It's a safety issue, and you got pissed.
I didn't get pissed because it was a safety issue. I got pissed because in my mind, I already knew you weren't going to do it, and then I was upset because I should have just.
Your fault because you
I should have just.
Me.
Accountability, people. Accountability. We are only responsible for our own actions. We cannot make anyone else do anything. That's it.
That's not true.
I can't control what you decide to do. Clearly, you didn't come on Friday. No. But you showed up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Saturday morning.
That's exactly what I told you I would do. I like driving in the morning.
I was very stern.
That's the thing. It's way cooler.
Wait, let's go back to me being right about you not cursing, and you've self-reflected and you're curbing it.
Fuck yeah, man. See what I did there?
Oh my goodness.
No, it's because I take it for granted that the 17 people that
there's actually one person is listening today.
Yeah, and his no friend, So I take it for granted that the people who replay this are old friends and they know me, so they're not going to get. Oh my God, it's just Drew. But I don't think about the people that don't know me and how I must sound like an idiot. I guess I sound like an idiot to people that know me too. That's okay.
I'm basking in this. Tell me more about how I'm right.
that's all.
Okay, no, hold on. But now we're going to EDC.
We're going to EDC. Yeah, that's gonna be fun, man.
I mean, are you going to be in a better mood about it? Or are you going to be getting crotchety when we get close to the day?
No, because I got VIP tickets, so I'll be crotchety in my little bungalow.
In your bungalow. I don't know what that entails.
I don't know either, but it was not cheap.
Yeah, well, there's that. So
Yeah, I might just find a place to chill, find some of my old friends who are DJing, call them up,
and make it a thing.
yeah, man, why not?
Well,
Anyway, we got a busy couple weeks coming up.
yeah.
I think.
Well, hey, what are you going to do about the show when you're out of country? 'Cause that's coming up. It's a real issue.
Yeah.
That's like next week.
Is it already?
Yep.
No, it's 10 days away.
Well, not this week because this show's gone already, but the week after that.
Yeah, so this week the show's gone, and then next week you're going to.
I'll be in Chicago.
I'll be in Chi-Town. And then you come home, and then I leave.
And then I leave again. I think right when you land, I leave again to San Antonio.
And then I leave again to go to the weed show in Vegas. You can come
Did
with
you
me.
tell me about that?
Yes, the weed show.
Oh, yeah.
Marijuana Growers Association show, Weed
Yeah.
BizCon or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm fascinated by the marijuana industry. I think it's going to do some pretty incredible stuff. I just don't know. So we were talking about this at lunch the other day also about how is legalized marijuana ever going to go? Is it ever going to make it in the state of Texas? Because the state of Texas has so much money sunk into the war on drugs. And if people start to legalize some of these things that they're trying to protect against, I mean, it's like that whole.
I'm curious to know the correlation between legalized marijuana and fentanyl. Nobody's dousing legalized marijuana and fentanyl, right?
No, but also a public service announcement. There are very few drug dealers that are just going to hand out fentanyl for free to your children on Halloween. So there's always the thing, when we were kids, it was like they put razor blades in apples,
Right.
or they put acid on the candy, and it's like, and I love let's step back in reality and say, hey, if I'm a drug dealer, what am I going to do on Halloween? I'm just going to give all the kids these free drugs.
No.
It's a terrible idea.
I don't think that's going to happen. But I will tell you that, did you realize that ACL was giving out free Narcan this entire weekend?
Holy shit, dude, that's terrifying.
Well,
I'm an advocate for it. I think everyone should be carrying Narcan with them.
You mentioned that the other day. Carry it around like you do EpiPens because you don't know what's going on around you.
You never have any idea when someone's going to need it.
I will say that I had a friend who mentioned that he had somebody come in and talk to him about how his son had overdosed because he did cocaine that was laced with fentanyl. And it's serious. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. It is everywhere, but
Theo, what are you doing awake?
He's like,
why are you going if you can't grow? He's going for a friend of his
A friend of mine has a license to grow and distribute, and has stores in a state where it's legalized. And so he invited me to go check it out. That's why I'm going. I wish we could grow it, dude.
I'd like to work with him on his insurance. That's for sure,
dude. They make so much money doing that stuff, and the amount of taxes that the state benefits from is so insane. It's not hurting anybody, I don't know.
Or is it?
I guess we'll find out. What else is going on? I was reading some interesting statistics today. I was trying to read a news article, and my phone kept dying.
You were trying to read?
Oh, yeah. Remember there was one that was talking about life expectancy of people, how the life expectancy of someone who has a bachelor's degree versus someone who doesn't have a bachelor's degree is about 10 to 12 years now. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, you're probably going to live 10 years less than your counterpart that does. And then they were talking about life expectancy and how it maps geographically to political areas.
Okay.
And the majority of the red states have substantially lower life expectancies than the blue states do. And I was talking about that, so it's fascinating. I don't want to screw the stream up, so I don't want to open up my notes on that, but it was pretty interesting.
I feel like you should open up your notes. Just put it up on the other screen.
Yeah, that's what happens. I'm going to break everything right
now. No, it's still going. I'm sure it's fine. But
I thought that was
pretty interesting also, especially right now, because I feel like we're a little bit on the rise of children deciding that they don't want to go to college. I've heard that more and more. Kids that would have otherwise been going to school have decided that they don't want to, or taking different avenues.
Oh, look. See, I'm glad I opened the notes. There is something, see how it screws everything up?
You're okay.
There is something that was told to me this week at Oktoberfest by our friend Jay. And he said it's always more fun to participate.
It is always more fun to participate.
Participating is more fun than not participating. And I thought that was phenomenal advice.
I agree. No one wants to sit off on the sidelines. Be part of the party.
Yeah, that was it.
Always. But go back to the other thing, because I have a feeling you did. Something happened.
It did. It messed it up. So there's that. Yeah, see? Messed up my stream.
You're okay.
Shouldn't have touched it. The other thing is I thought that this was funny. You know how one of the things in this big case that they're doing with Trump about his taxes, how he inflated his taxes, made all these fraudulent statements. A Democratic senator has sent a letter to the county where Mar-a-Lago is, because the property value from Mar-a-Lago is like 19 million or 11 million or something like that, but he claims it's worth $420 million or something ridiculous. So a congressman has sent a letter saying, hey, if he's saying it's worth this much and this is what it's represented at for loans and for banknotes and for insurance, why aren't you charging him taxes on the $420 million property instead of only charging him for the $11 million property? I thought that was pretty funny. Bonehead.
I don't know what to say. Bonehead.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was fascinating. Also, news this week, Trump was blabbing out nuclear submarine secrets to a friend of his, top secret stuff. He was talking about
that guy just likes to talk.
Yeah, and this rear admiral or one of the guys from the Navy pops up and he's like, dude, I would have been court-martialed if I would have said that out loud. But it's kind of interesting. Yes, I broke it. I know, Theo, I broke it. I should have broke it.
You broke it. Really quick, I do again want to
What do you want to do?
No, just kind of shine a light on the horrible, horrendous things that are going on in the world, and that if it's anything that we can do is to be considerate of the people around us and the turmoil that they're going through. Yeah. To be careful with what we say and how we say it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. This is a crazy week.
Very crazy week.
This scary thing is what's going on in Israel right now could very well start a much bigger conflict. You know.
Well.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well.
I think it's about that time. Are we at that time? I don't have a timer.
About an hour. We're chit-chatting over here.
Yeah. I will say. Can I comment on this?
Comment.
Earlier in the week, because I'm taking this class, it was held at a different hotel, and I toughed it out. I roughed it out there. I roughed it out for a good, how many days? 5 days?
What did you end at the fun? What was the straw that broke the camel's back?
None of it was to my liking, and I won't mention any names at all, but none of it was okay, and I toughed it out because the class was there, and it was about convenience, and I was trying to, my camaraderie with my other students that were there with me. Holy moly. The icing on the cake. I had to leave. Holy moldy. Yeah, moldy. The oatmeal was green. It was green. And I said, I can't do it anymore. Yeah. I am 41 years old. I can't be here anymore. I'm out. And I checked out. And that's how I found myself in this beautiful establishment. So glad that I did it because I've got
originally
6 more days of school.
Originally, we talked about you staying here, but it was 10 to 15 minutes away from where your class
From where the class was, so I was worried. Now it is 100% worth it.
What a hotel.
Because this is gorgeous.
This place is great. Look, here, free shot. Look at this. Uh-oh, my sister's
What kind of free shot?
Right?
That is disgusting. The moldy oatmeal, yes, it was not okay.
We're sitting in this lobby over here.
I don't think they can see the water feature from here, but
you can't see the water feature.
But it's nice.
Yeah, that's great. There's a breakfast area back there. This isn't the Embassy Suites my dad would take us to, and when I was a kid, and have a little free breakfast. But I don't know if the breakfast is free. Breakfast is great.
I think the breakfast is free.
There's TVs everywhere.
You want to know what the breakfast was? Not green.
Yeah, it was.
That's for sure. No, and I was upset with myself. So lesson learned.
Whoa, I'll cook it.
When you're uncomfortable with something, you should definitely just not be uncomfortable. Change it. I don't know why I waited. I waited 5 days for me to just get to a breaking point.
What are you gonna do? Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, that's it. It's been an hour.
It's been an hour.
Hey, thanks for chatting. It was nice to catch up with you.
Well, it's really nice to connect with you again.
I know. Like I'm leaving.
You're leaving like
in a few hours.
In a few hours.
I'll just re-record the show when I get home.
Yeah, I figured anything you can do to get me off of it.
No way, I've got the other one. Don't forget, if you aren't tired of hearing my voice, you want to hear about tech. I have another podcast now that we just started up called Waves.
Yeah.
And it's actually going real good.
Except I'm not on that one.
It is the Embassy one. We're at the Embassy Suites in Round Rock. Yeah, so
it's very nice. Brand new building.
Brand new building.
It's got a restaurant just down the hall.
And, you know, there was just an announcement that the same hotel group that's doing this is doing an Embassy Suites in Brownsville. So if you've been to the Embassy in McAllen, or the what's the other hotel? The Aloft, and that one's coming. And what's the other one that they've got? This is
Courtyard Marriott at the beach.
Yeah, Courtyard Marriott at the beach. The Hilton Garden Inn at the island. It's the same group. They have all these beautiful, beautiful properties. So
yes,
from the Rio Grande Valley. It's a very cool story. They have a really cool story, and it's really neat to see them grow. And this is just what a beautiful place, man. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to bed. I'm gonna finish this tequila. We should add more beers.
You're not going to bed. It's time to party. There's a Bar Louie over there.
There's a Bar Louie right there. We should go. Man.
We should go find all the fun people.
Anyway, we all have a wonderful week. You have a wonderful week.
Oh, you have a wonderful week too. I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you. You hang up. No, you hang up. Anyway, thanks for putting up with us. We'll see you guys.